Yo, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Round Table Talk. I am your host, C Money. And in today's episode, I want to talk about a new age of things that's kind of getting, kind of now the new modern day and time. I was hanging out with some friends a couple of days ago, and we was at a little business, and I stumbled upon a vending machine, and a vending machine that offers food. And I was like, huh? And I started realizing, the things. Now, they had about 4 or 5 items. They had a cheese filled pretzel. They had donuts. They had pot stickers, which is something I think similar to empanadas, but it's I don't know. I don't know, maybe a Chinese delicacy or something like that. It's called pot stickers. It's like a rolled up empanada dough or something like that with like filled up something. Then they had two other things that I tried out, and I was like, oh my god. They had these egg and turkey sausage biscuits, and they also had White Castle burgers. Now, this is the first time I've ever tried White Castle because, as you know, down here in South Florida, they do not have White Castle down here. So they don't have that down here. So, I had to try it, and I tried it out, and I'm like, okay, this is something interesting, you know. And I started realizing this is the new age and time. Now they're getting to where vending machines are taking over your sales. Now that's not the first time. Well, that's the first time I've seen a food vending machine. But vending machines now are starting to take over. I didn't show you in my episode when I did an episode at Bayside, but at Bayside they have a thing called Farmer Box, which is like a vending machine pharmacy where you can get anything from Pepto Bismol to aspirin to migraines to band aids to you could probably get tampons. You could get anything. Majority of the stuff, cold medicine, some of the stuff that you get in pharmacies. You can get it in a thing called Farm Box. And I started looking at these things and I was like, okay, now I realize you can now get a lot of stuff out of vending machines. It's in Pembroke Lakes Mall. I know for a fact in this mall, but I know there are certain other malls as well. They have cotton candy vending machines where they make cotton candy in the vending machines, and a lot of these things are like, wow, like I'm starting to read. This is the new thing now. A lot of these vending machines are taking over because remember back a few years ago, they started what food trucks started popping up, and it started being like a lot of these restaurants started having food trucks to where they can move like a nomad, go from place to place. You can have your food truck on 26th Street, then be down here in 126th Street the next day, where a lot of these restaurants now have their own food trucks, and a lot of food trucks are taking over the restaurant industry where there's a food truck not too far from here, and there's several food trucks, back in the day they used to have, those, back in the day used to have it where, you had, these pickup trucks, and in the back of the pickup truck you had the people that had the grills and all that set up, they had the little, your little truck connector in the back where they had the grills and stuff like that or whatever. And they used to barbecue on the grill, and they sell you the barbecue, and every now and then they had the little sides with it, and they sold the little canned sodas. Now you have actual food trucks out here with fully furnished kitchens and stuff like that. And I'm like, back in the day, food trucks wasn't as popular as it is now. And it's the same thing with vending machines. Because, back then, the only popular vending machine out there that was popular, was the coffee vending machines. I know some of y'all have seen it in hospitals. I've seen it on several TV shows where, they make fresh instant coffee from the vending machine for people who need coffee and stuff like that. And that was the only basically vending machine that was out there that wasn't non-traditional, because the traditional vending machines was the snack vending machine where you get your snacks and stuff, and then you had the soda vending machine and stuff. Now they have vending machines that do everything. I was at a venue, this was years ago, and Metro PCS had a vending machine, and I was like, Metro PCS, which is now Metro by T-Mobile, of course, and they had a vending machine, and in that vending machine, because I actually purchased it, I actually purchased a portable charger out of that vending machine, and now a lot of these vending machines, even at the tri-rail stations, if you come down here to the tri-rail station, there's one tri-rail station that I frequent, and there's it's called the Metro Rail tri-rail station. I may do a video probably in the near future of it. They do have where you can buy earphones and chargers, like wall chargers. They have that, and I'm like, what? And it was the same thing out of the Metro PCS vending machine, where they had where you can buy chargers, wall chargers, portable chargers. You can buy headphones, earphones. You could probably buy a SIM card. And I was like, really? And a lot of these are now modern day, because just like the food trucks are taking over the restaurant industry, the vending machines are taking over the industry too. Because when I was at this business, I got the turkey, the egg and turkey sausage sandwiches, because it was 2 in the pack, and then I ended up getting the White Castle burgers. It was 4 in the pack. So I had one of the turkey sausage and egg biscuits. I said, okay, I normally like my biscuits, my breakfast sandwiches with cheese on it. So I tasted. I said it wasn't bad, because I never really had a turkey sausage. I said it wasn't bad, but I tried that White Castle, and it blew me away. And I was like, and I think it had onions in it, and it was like 4 in a pack. And I was like, I savored the first two. I said I'm gonna eat the first two, and I was like, I was too hungry, and I ate the other two, and I was like, Jesus. And it came out nice and hot. It wasn't too hot, but it came out nice. The temperature was nice. It was real nice. I didn't need to put no ketchup or mayonnaise, no condiments on. And I was like, because I don't put condiments on my breakfast sandwiches. I may put maybe, I don't never put condiments on my breakfast sandwiches. If I have cheese, that's fine, or something like that. But I never put condiments on my breakfast sandwiches. But with my burgers and stuff, I normally put ketchup and mayonnaise. But with this, I didn't need nothing. Like, it was so delicious, and I'm like, I can't believe this came out of a vending machine. And I've never had White Castle burgers, because like I told you before, White Castle burgers, they don't have those locations here in Miami. They used to have a Crystal's here, which is something similar to White Castle, and they do have Royal Castle, which one Royal Castle, and we'll do a video about that, in the near future. But I've never had a White Castle burger, and the fact that they sold it there, and I tasted it, and I was like, oh my God, this is so delicious. And I could never, and you would think that food that comes from out of a vending machine, hot foods and stuff like that, because vending machines, they do sell like foods where like they'll sell like little sandwiches and like burgers and stuff where you have to warm up in the microwave and stuff like that. They'll sell like, Pop-Tarts and stuff like that, because I've seen vending machines that sell Pop-Tarts, and the people, they eat the Pop-Tarts just like as is. I'm like, you're not going to pop that in the microwave or something. I know you don't have a toaster oven, but if there's a microwave nearby, and they sell like sandwiches, and most of the time when they be selling like those little pre-made cheeseburgers in the bag and stuff like that, you have to, you buy them and then you have to put it in the microwave and stuff. I've seen that, but to actually have hot food coming from out of a vending machine. Now, I'm quite sure at airports, because I've never flown before, or I've never been on an airplane. So I'm quite sure they have a lot of these hot food vending machines at the airports for people who want a quick meal. If you don't want to go inside these restaurants and wait, or if you rushing to get on your flight, your food will be ready less than 2 minutes, because it was less than 2 minutes that my food was ready. It was like under a minute they was preparing the food. It took a minute for them to prepare the food. I'm guessing the food was already, I don't know how these vending machines are. I don't know if the food stays warm, or they have a section in the machine because it's a big machine, and it is like, I don't know if they keep the food warm to where it doesn't overcook the food. And because you know how most people, when they cook food and they have to save it, they put it in the oven at low temperature to keep it warm, stuff like that. So I don't know how that is. And then it comes in this, like how you get them TV dinners and you have to pull back the top part. It comes in something like that with a little see-through window in the middle. And I was like, I was amazed when I really found out that they actually have hot food in vending machines. And I was like, I know that vending machines are now taking over because eventually a lot of these restaurants are going to start doing that too. Because remember back in the day, most restaurants, they only had two options for sodas. They had the sodas behind the counter where they make your sodas. So, and for them, that was one of the ways of keeping the soda cost down. Because, a lot of people, they'll keep going 2 and 3 times. And they only allow most restaurants, to have one refill per visit. And then it got, where they had started putting the soda machines on the outside to say, we let the customers make their own sodas. Now they have these new soda fountains. These sodas called, I forgot the name of them, where they have multiple soda options in one big thing where you just press a button. You could get 4 or 5 different varieties of Coke, 4 or 5 different varieties of Sprite, 4 or 5 different varieties of this soda, 4 or 5 different varieties of this. And you just press it and they have it all dispensing. You can get cherry Coke, vanilla Coke, cherry Sprite, vanilla Sprite. You can get all these different options. High C, lemonade, strawberry lemonade. You get different varieties. When back then you only had 5 options. You had the Coke, the Diet Coke, the Sprite, fruit punch, and maybe lemonade. You didn't have many varieties. Now you have thousands of varieties. And it's the same thing with these vending machines now. Vending machines are coming to where now you can buy your food and you ain't even got to go to a restaurant. Or I'm going to stop here and get some of these burgers out of this vending machine. You want one? Get a vending machine. Then you touch it. You be like, oh, this is delicious. And it comes warm, so it's already cooked. It comes in this steam when you take it out. I believe it was a little bit steamy because it was, in a closed package. But altogether, it was delicious. And I tell you, no lie. And I said, I got to do a story on this because I was amazed at the fact that they have these machines and they're now taking over the food industry. Of course, you're not going to be able to get ribs and stuff. I seen one that had macaroni and cheese. Even though when they run out, they have to, inform, the company to come restock the machines. Because I did see one that had macaroni and cheese in it a while back, and they didn't have to restock. They just had to be where they had to make the food because it was one that I did with macaroni and cheese, and it was probably at the same location that I went to, or another one, because I've seen several of these, and I was like, oh, I want to try the macaroni and cheese. And at that time when I did that, I never think about doing a story because I never had the food, and it had it to where it would send you a notification to know when your food is ready. Like, you didn't buy the food, but it had it where, okay, because it takes longer for most of those vending machine foods to get cooked because it's a vending machine. It's not like they have a stove or stuff. So, they probably have it where, they have to stick it. It's like a oven or something inside of the vending machine where they have to warm up the food, and then they only have like a certain temperature, maybe like a 200-degree temperature where it may take longer for the food to cook. Where faces, if you put it in there for 350 degrees, it'll take 10 minutes or so to cook. So it was like it was taking a minute, and I was like, I couldn't wait that long because I'm leaving, and then eventually it's like, oh, your food is, the food is ready to be ordered and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm already gone from that stuff. But yeah, these vending machines are now taking over, and the name of the vending machine is called Just Baked. I looked it up, and they do have I think a factory production place here. Let me look that up again because I did look it up, and I was looking it up, and I said, oh, Hold on 1 second, y'all. Cause it's basically like a vending machine company, and basically what they're doing is modelizing. I might be saying it wrong, and revamping the yeah, Just Bake. It's in Boca Raton. Wait, no, not that. That's a bake shop. Oh, it's called Just Bake Smart Bistro, and they have a lot of, and I see they have the images of the vending machines, and I'm quite sure they're in airports, because I know they make money in the airports, because instead of going into these restaurants and eating, you want to grab a quick bite, you go to the vending machine, boop, 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 boop. It's there in less than a minute or two. And when I tried this, I was like, oh my God, I've never suspect this to be. Man, I know White Castle are good, are delicious burgers, because I've never been to, White Castle still exists, but they don't have any here in South Florida. But it was like, when you tried a food item that was freshly made hot out of a vending machine for the first time, and it takes your breath away to know that, oh my God, this is so delicious. And I said, I got to do a show about this. I know it's Black History Month, and I'm supposed to be doing shows about Black history and all that, but I'm like, this is something that's taken over the news. Because remember, years ago, food stuff started popping up. Now they have food truck um, events. They have areas with food trucks. I think I did an episode in Brickell one time, where I did an episode where they had like a food truck park and stuff like that. And I was like, food trucks took over the industry. Now it's vending machines, because now you can go, you're walking in the mall, and your kid got a headache, or you get a headache. Instead of going in one of the stores, just press the button at the vending machine. You can get some aspirin right then and there. Or if you got a cut and your kid got a cut, why wait in line at a pharmacy? And a lot of these malls won't really have pharmacies, and they don't have dollar stores and stuff where you can go in there and buy anything like that. So they have farm box, like Bayside Marketplace. I was talking about that, where they have a farm box. They don't have a um pharmacy there. The pharmacy is across the street. There's a CVS across the street from Bayside. But who wants to leave Bayside to go to CVS to get some aspirin because you got a headache? Or who wants to leave because you got cut or something happened and you need to buy, you got a farm box there. You got an upset stomach, you can buy you some Pepto-Bismol, whether they got it in the pills or in liquid form, and the same thing with aspirin and, cold medicine stuff. And I'm like, this is the new age of time. You can get anything from up pretty soon. They probably going to have T-shirts and socks out of a vending machine. And some places they do that. Some places where, especially in bowling alleys, I've seen. I recall, but I recall there was a bowling alley. I don't remember which bowling alley that I went to, where you can purchase your socks out of a vending machine. And I'm like, yeah. And this was years ago, to where you could purchase your socks out of a vending machine. Because when you go to bowling alleys, you're required to wear socks when you're bowling. And I remember it was a bowling alley. I don't remember the bowling alley. And if you ever been to a bowling alley that does do that, comment and let me know, because I'm sure they still do it, where you buy your own socks out of the bowling. Because the socks that you buy at the bowling alley, it's your socks. You're buying them, you keep them. Because most bowling alleys, they charge like $2-3 for socks and stuff like that. So you buy them and you keep them, and it's like, hey. And I've seen a bowling alley that where you can buy your socks out of the vending machine. I'm like, what? Pretty soon they're gonna have it where you can buy clothes and outfits out of the vending machine. I told you, at one of the malls down here, they have cotton candy, where you can buy cotton candy out of a vending machine. And I'm like, yeah. I'm not a fan of cotton candy. I don't really like cotton candy. I've never had cotton candy, but I'm not a fan of cotton candy. But for kids, that's something new, because how many stores sell cotton candy? They don't really too many have cotton candy stores, especially here in South Florida. And the fact that you can buy your cotton candy out of a vending machine, it's like, wow. And now you can buy hot prepared food out of a vending machine. And I'm like, I'm quite sure there's a person that prepares the food inside of these locations. Or how, because it's Just Baked. It's the name is Just Baked Smart Bistro, which is the vending company. They probably get the burgers from White Castle. They probably get their shipped to them, to their warehouse, and then from their warehouse, they probably pack them into Cause all that other stuff is pre-made. Cause most of this food is pre-made. They're not giving you frozen food. Cause the cooked frozen food, it's gonna take you hours to cook it in the vending machine. Cause if you trying to cook a burger in the vending machine and then it's supposed to come out with the bread and the cheese all ready to get, yeah, it's gonna take a minute to cook that. Especially in the vending machine, because the vending machine got to have the right temperature for each item. It got to be hot. It can't be overcooked. It can't be undercooked. So yeah, it'll probably take a minute. But most of these, they probably have the stuff already pre-cooked to where they package them in the packages and they stick them in the vending machines. And then when you order it, they put it in the hot area where it warms up the food, and it takes a minute, and they probably have a high temperature and stuff like that. Because I always, I would love for somebody to demonstrate, or somebody to show me how that operates, because I want to know, how do they do the food inside of these vending machines? Because it comes out fresh, the temperature is right, the taste is right, the flavor is right. I didn't need nothing on my burger, because it was melted, it was nice and hot and fresh, and it tasted good, and I was like, oh my God. And it makes you think, is this what we're going to be looking for in the future? Because remember 10, 20 years ago, what was the future of ice cream? Dippin' Dots. And now Dippin' Dots is popping up in locations. I've seen them in amusement parks and zoos, and I've seen them in malls, and a lot of businesses started selling Dippin' Dots and stuff like that. So and back then you used to see Dippin' Dots, the future of ice cream, which is little balls of ice cream. They're little like pellets of ice cream, and you get a whole bunch of them in a little cup, and they're like ice cream pellets. And it was like the future of ice cream. And Dippin' Dots, now a lot of businesses sell Dippin' Dots, and I'm like, yeah, and then now you got the future of food, vending food, food vendors, or vending machine vendors, or however you want to call it, hot food vending machines. And to the point where a lot of these places are now selling hot food vending machine. And I know, like I said, I know in a lot of these airports, I don't know if they have them in the airports, but comment if you've seen them in the airports. But I'm quite sure in these airports, that's where they're selling these. That's where most of these vending machines are, in airports, because I've seen some of these vending machines in shopping malls, like in places like where I've been, and I've seen a lot of vending machines. They have vending machines for cotton candy. They have, like I said, Metro PCS had a vending machine where you can buy like phone accessories. I've seen vending machines at train stations and bus stations where, if you're missing a charger, you can buy a charger. If you're missing, if you need some headphones, they got the little earphones, the earbuds and stuff like that. And if you want a portable charger, like I said, I've seen at a bowling alley where they sell socks in the vending machine, where you could purchase a socks on the vending. I'm like, this is the new technology now, to where now a lot of these people are going to be wanting to buy their food. It may cost a little bit more than in the store, because like the 4-pack of White Castles was like $9.99, I believe, and the 2 sausage sandwiches was a little bit, it was, I think, about $1 or $2 less than that. It was like $8-9, I believe. It was a little bit cheaper than that, but it wasn't as cheap as that. But it wasn't like $5-6. I know it was like $7-9 or so, because it was a 2-pack. But you might pay a little bit more than what you pay in the restaurant, because I know a pack of 4, well, depending, because I don't know how much a pack of 4 burgers and White Castle would cost, but I know that these burgers, they probably cost like 20 to 30 cents a burger, or maybe 50 or 60 cents a burger, and then you're paying for a 4-pack, you're probably paying $5 or so for a 4-pack of sliders. And that's why I say, you're paying probably a little bit more, because you're probably paying the taxes after that, even though they don't give you a receipt. You're probably paying for the tax fee, the production fee, because everything comes with a fee, when you're paying a price. If you're paying for a $9 burger, you're paying for that $9 burger, you're paying for the cook that cooks the burger. You're paying for the equipment that you use to cook the burger. You're paying for the seasonings on the burger, and you're also paying for all the toppings and condiments that go on the burger, like the bread, the cheese, the tomatoes, the lettuce, the onions, the ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, whatever goes on the burger. You're paying for all of that within that $10 burger. So for me, I look at it as if that's fine. But at the same time, that's why you're with these vending machines, you're probably paying for the labor of the vending machine, because of course they have to have somebody to come in and do the upkeeps of the vending machines. They got to make sure their vending machines don't go down, because if they go down, that food can get spoiled. It's not like a regular vending machine. If the vending machine stops working, it's only chips and candy bars. It's not like it's cheeseburgers, and stuff like that. You just have chips and candy bars and sodas. A soda, yes, it can go flat, and the soda can go bad. And chips and candy bars, they can't go bad. The candy bar, it can sit in room temperature for a long period of time. Unless you're in a sauna or a steam room or something like that, where a candy bar can just start melting instantly. But these hot food vending machines, they cost maintenance to keep them up, because you have actual food in there that needs to be settled. Like how they need to be in a special section to where they don't, number one, that they don't go bad. They probably have a refrigerated section inside of the vending machine where they keep the food nice and room temperature or whatever, to where how you sit food out and eventually it goes bad, and then and then it creates maggots and all that stuff. So they have to have a section where the food doesn't go bad. Then they have to have a section where the food, they warm up the food and stuff like that. So it's a lot of factors. So you're paying for a lot of that. You're paying for labors and parts and services and all of that. They probably had flavor on it. It probably had salt and pepper on it, but the cheese and I believe the onions and all of that was on it. It was just amazing. I want to know, have you ever tried any of these food vending machines? These warm food, and I'm not talking about vending machines where they have like the cheeseburger in the little plastic that you have to take out and put in the microwave to warm up. I'm talking about the actual food that comes out of there piping hot. I've never did the coffee vending machines, where they make instant coffee out of the vending machines. I've never did that, but this is my first time trying hot food vending machine. Let me know, have you ever tried any of the hot food vending machines? How was it? How was your experience? What did you order at first? And how was it? Was it good? Was it up to your par? And would you ever try anyone ever again? I honestly believe this is the future of food, because now they're going to be popping up at shopping malls and shopping centers and stuff like that, because now a lot of these businesses, and not only that, hotels, they're going to probably start popping up in hotels, to where, these hotels that don't have, a lot of these hotels that don't do, that don't have complimentary breakfasts, or they don't have restaurants in them, and they only have vending machines. A lot of these hotels are probably going to start having vending machines where you can buy hot food from their vending machine. Because, a lot of these hotels, when you go, especially when I be traveling, like, the resort that I have, Star Island, the one that I visited, yeah, they have a corner store there, and in the corner store they do have a restaurant where they serve food. But after a certain time, the restaurant closes like around 9 or so, and then the corner store closes around 10. So after a certain time, you have to venture out to get some food. And a lot of these places, they're gonna start doing where they have these vending machines in their lobbies of their hotels. So if customer want to get something to eat, a nice hot meal, and they don't want to go far out, they could just say, let me go down here to the vending machine and get me a cheeseburger. Let me go down here to the vending machine and get me some fries or some macaroni and cheese out of the vending machine. To where they could just go downstairs, order them a 4-pack of White Castle burgers, go upstairs, eat it, and I'm like, I'm full. I ain't even had to step out of my hotel to get nothing to eat. I just go down here, boop, 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 and I'm done. So let me know how you feel about these new age, and do you think that it will take over the food industry? Because these vending machines will take over the food industry. They're not gonna push away the restaurants and the food trucks, but they will be popping up more in businesses to where they are needed, because now it's a high demand for that. You can go in these airports and get a freshly made burger. It's not freshly made like prepared in front of your face, but it's a burger where you can buy it and you can still make your plan, and it's under there. You don't have to wait 10 minutes for this person to make your food. You can pop, do, and your food comes right out of the thing in less than 2-3 minutes. And it's the same with a lot of these other foods. So let me know how you feel about that. Do you think vending machines for hot food is good? Do you think it's um, a, a new way to go, or what do you think? Comment at the bottom of this page. You can also email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. I thank you for watching this. Go try one of them vending machines. If you haven't tried it yet, please, I need you not. If you've ever go to a mall, go to a airport or whatever, I know they're out there, or Google, hot food vending machines. I'm quite sure they're in areas of you. This particular location was in Fort Lauderdale, and I was like, wow, and it was amazing me. Just go try them out, and let me know what you think about it. Comment and let me know. This is the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money. As always, stay blessed, stay safe, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.